Got him.
Let's get into the next part of the show, man. Jan versus Sterling, man. Hey, yo, this is the most. I mean, this might be the most controversial championship fight that I ever seen, especially when it came down to the fourth round. But I gotta say something before the fourth round, man. I had Jan winning that fight two to
Me
one,
too.
if not 3-1 in the fourth round.
Me too.
I felt like Sterling came out in the first round. He was showing some things that he looked pretty good. He was doing some unique things in the ring or in the cage. But I just feel like Jan had an answer for everything that Sterling was doing, and he was getting to a point later in the rounds that he was starting to lay some leather on his face, man. How you feel about this fight,
All
man?
right. So 5 minutes on the clock. Listen.
5 minutes on the clock.
So first, let's. I want to do this. I want to do this first. I want to talk about the fight as if it was a 3 round fight before we get into the controversy, just for like 1 minute. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, if this was a 3 round fight, I really thought Aljamain Sterling had a lot more to bring to the table. I feel like he had a plan A, but he didn't have a plan B,
No.
or he didn't have a his adjustments weren't there. And then he had a couple moments where what he was doing was great, but he never like he was almost trying to Nick Diaz him. He was gonna pepper
Yeah.
shots, pepper shots, pepper shots. And he would catch a couple times that he would pepper and Yon would shell up and then he would like shoot in or throw a couple more pepper shots. I'm like, nah, throw some power, throw some heat on that, kind of sorta. But it wasn't the case. It's almost like he was just like, I I don't know what to do per se with it. So as a 3 round fight, I'm not exactly sure if he was even going to come close to the fight. And then you get the knee. First round he comes out, he looks good, and Piotr Jan's kind of figuring him out. And then from there, second round, not as great. Third round, there's your problem. We knew the answer then, and then boom, we got the knee. We gonna show the knee. So soon as y'all ready to see the knee, we gonna show the knee. You know,
Man, go ahead and show the knee
Go
right
ahead
now,
on
man,
show the
because
knee.
that knee was nasty,
The knee
man.
was
That knee
nasty.
was nasty, man.
So
That knee was nasty.
so that's about where it landed. Somebody on the internet was like, it landed on the chin, not the chin, but on the cheek.
No,
Nah, that was straight
that
temple.
thing landed
So
on the
look,
temple,
right
man.
here, and boom. Look at his head pop back.
Yeah,
Boom. Now,
man. That was some controversy in this as well, man. You got to talk about what happened in the corner for Yon, man. But before we talk about what in the corner for Yon, man, I want to give props to the ref. The ref actually said, "Man is down."
yeah.
To Jan so that he knows he cannot knee him in the face like
Yeah.
that. Seriously.
Now, so
But talk about that corner, man.
so I listened to the audio of it, and then they were talking about what's his name, Habib Nurmagomedov,
Just Habib, yeah, Habib.
uh, in saying that he heard what the corner was saying, translated, and all this, that, and the other. But I feel like also that might be a little bit misconstrued. But basically, what happened is when he was down, the head cornerman was yelling, "Just punch, just punch, just punch," and then the second that was down there, who I don't at this point I don't want to challenge his competence in MMA, but bruh, the whole events that they have
Wow.
on camera is very damning because you can hear Piotr Jan go, "I need," and then you hear that cornerman go, "Yes," and then he needs him. But then you hear the cornerman go, "Yes, yes," and he's just sitting there. And then if you pan over to the head coach, and he's like, "Bruh, come on, what is happening here?" Why my man's just sitting there going, "Yeah, yeah," as if he thought it was a legal shot. So
How could you think that is a legal shot, man? There is no way you can defend that.
Maybe he thought he was in ONE FC. Maybe he thought it was old Pride rules or something. I don't know what, you know, because it was brought up. It was brought up online. I was talking because we talk fights that that shouldn't be a rule anyway. But it is, and how can you have the 150, 135? This 35, wasn't it? The 135
Yeah.
championship and not know the rules. You can't. There's no excuse for what happened.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse for what happened. The corner should have known what to do in that situation, but they failed. They failed my man Jan, man. Because
Boom.
before the fight even started, man, I was rooting for Sterling. I thought he had something different for Jan that he ain't never seen before. And with Jan going out and looking at the homeless man saying, "That's Sterling right there, that's Sterling right there," I thought Sterling had something or some kind of extra motivation to come in there and just knock Jan out. But Jan is more skilled, and I feel like this next match, because this is a comeback. This is gonna come back, and we're gonna see this again.
A lot of people are gonna tune in. A lot of people are gonna tune in that are salty about what happened.
Yeah.
And if I had to say this, I will 100% say this is that I wholeheartedly agree that the right man won that fight. I wholeheartedly agree that Piotr Jan should have been disqualified. I wholeheartedly agree that it was rightful that the belt changed hands, even though but if you call it by disqualification, then yeah, there's certain instances where it could be a no contest, but this was clearly a disqualification factor. Now, I do disagree that it was in Sterling's hands to say whether he could continue or not. And if you told me that he might have played it up a little bit, I wouldn't argue with you. Now,
Hey, he did some things that were suspect.
he wasn't in his right mind to even be doing anything or making decisions after eating a knee like that. Especially, being defenseless, and he caught these complete blunt end of that knee. And
Yes, he did.
And then he was down, and then he said some stuff to the ref, and we were like, I know this fight isn't going to continue. Now, let's now to all the people who are going, no man, he was totally just playing that up so he could get the belt, and it was total, it was some bull and all this, that, and all that. First off, you eat the knee and see how you feel. Second off, you would be the same person to say if he ate that knee and then he said, no, I can continue, and he got up and stumbling, clearly concussed, walked forward, and then Peter Yan knocked him out. And then you'd have been the same person like, man, he shouldn't have continued. That was crap anyway. Did he need him while he was down? It was clearly unfair. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't in that situation. True. So the referee might as well should have just made the call like, bruh, I synced it. You got duck. I'm going to go ahead on and do the little wavy thing that I do and let them know that this fight's done. Because that's just, that's as blatant as it can be,
It is.
He pulled back from the 7 depths of hell with that knee.
He did, boy. That had bad intentions on him. That whole knee had bad intentions.
Look. 7 depths. That was the look, watch this. Tiger Claw. That was it. That was
that was like Hadouken.
Tiger Claw. What? Who is it? Sagat. What's his name? He Tiger Claw my man's face. One more time. Tiger Claw. It's Tiger Knee, but I don't know what he says when he does it. But yeah, so now the rematch, the build up to the rematch is going to be insufferable. I dread because
I don't dread it.
Because Piotr Jan is gonna do the thing where I did something illegal, and I clearly cheated, but I'm gonna call you out for it as if it wasn't my fault in the first place. He's going to change his tune. Like call him illegitimate champ. The belt isn't really yours. All this, that, and the other. And all the fans are going to do the same thing. And then Sterling, he's going to do the thing. He might do he could go 2 routes. He might do the, I'm going to play it cool. Or he might go down what's his name? They train together. he beat Anderson Silva the first time. Chris Weidman. Come
Y'all,
on, guys.
I never thought Chris
Yo,
Weidman.
yo,
I never thought Chris Weidman was
yo,
the real
yo,
champ. But
y'all got
well, go ahead.
y'all got to get on the train, man. Y'all better quit, man. You know, kind of that aspect, and they just gonna clown them. So, but here we go. Let's make a prediction right now, and then we'll move on to our next round. How about this? In the rematch, right now, make a decision. Who wins?
Yeah, man. Jan looked like the better fighter in the last fight.
Aljamain.
He looked like the better fighter, and Aljamain looked like he didn't have anything for Peter Yan. Peter Yan looked like he made the adjustments or proper adjustments in the ring after the first round, and I feel like Peter Yan comes out and he dominates in the second fight, probably in a knockout in the first round.
Aljamain Sterling wins that second fight.
Why you say that?
Aljamain Sterling will win that second fight, and this has now made him a better fighter by about a mile and a half. So think of it like this. So he gets the belt, and it ain't really the way that he wanted to get the belt, but he got the belt in a fight that he was losing. So the whole time that this rematch is going to come up, in the back of your head, if you're Piotr Yan, you go, bro, I was already giving him the whips. And then the illegal knee happened, and that ain't even really his belt. That's my belt. I'm going to go back and get my belt. That's a different way that you train than, oh, man, I got the belt. And in a fight that I was, bruh, hey, we got to beat them this next fight. They are going to do everything they can to learn everything that they can about this fight and break down every aspect of it, even though he's the champ, for him to not lose that belt. And they're going to figure something out. If they don't, then he is at the wrong place.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't see anything in that fight for Aljamain.
He had a couple moments.
Man, he had an awkward style. He had some awkwardness to him. I did not like him allowing Jan to take his back. I also didn't like the fact that he laid or stayed on the ground longer.
You don't like the butt scoop.
Longer than expected.
You can't tell me you don't like the butt scoop.
I mean, I don't like. It just didn't make for.
Come on, come into my God.
It didn't make for entertainment. It was like 20, 30 seconds where I felt like he was trying to get his breath back. But Aljamain has a tank on him. But I don't know if he had enough of a tank. And I feel like what you're saying may come true because I feel like he's going to train a lot harder and he may push himself to have a better tank than what he did in this fight. That may give him a better leg up. But I don't know, man. I just thought Peter Yan had a better. I think skill-wise, I think he was better.
Now, so right now, it can't get any worse for Piotr Yan, but it can get worse for Aljamain Sterling.
It can.
So, Piotr Yan, if he goes out and loses the next fight, he goes out and loses the next fight. You know, that's whatever. You know, that's what the perception will be. Now, if Aljamain Sterling goes out and loses the next fight, he's just going to get trashed even more. So he has a chip on his shoulder to get that. What we got to say? What did he say? Yeah. What was with the overextended punches that kept him turning his back to Yan like 7 times? I feel like
I don't get it.
I feel like that goes for what you're saying with the giving up the back. I feel like he was overconfident with his jiu-jitsu skills, in the fact that there's nowhere where he would be in trouble against Piotr Yan. So then giving up his back is fine to him. Now, with that being said, I think it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen because every time he did that, he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, so like some people be like, what's his name? Eddie, he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner. Here, have my back, rolling knee bar. Have my back, now I'm on top. Kind of sort of deal. What's his name in the 170 division? Damian Maia. Damian Maia will shoot a shot just to touch your leg and then pull half guard. So he pulls half guard on you. You're on top, right? But he's pulling half guard for the effect that now he's going to jiu-jitsu you and be on top. And hey, that totally works. If Aljamain's like, man, whatever, have my back. Boom, here's this. Or I'm going to pepper you to get you to cover up. Boom, here's a power shot. Every time he had something, he didn't do anything. I don't think he didn't do anything with it. So, but he knows that now. In a fight that he was losing, and he got the belt.
I bet he want. I bet he want to get that back up the next fight.
And he because that's the only time. Look, my jujitsu. I don't be jujitsuing like jujitsuers be jujitsuing. So you know what I'm not gonna do? Butt scoop.
Jiu-jitsu.
I'm not gonna butt scoop. It's not how that works. So when he felt like he had that advantage, he does that. The heavyweight champion of the world, Fabricio Verdun, did it. Come on, come to my God. No one's going down there, buddy. It's not happening.